Welcome back to Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. Third time around, we're going to try and take this video on. The first time I tried to intentionally engineer it in such a way that you would be able to kind of see the utilization of Sammy's superpower. And I miscalculated how much money we would need to do that, so it didn't generate enough star power, resulting in it not being possible. And then the second time I tried to do the recording, and my audio wasn't on. So that was just great. Anyway, we're going to try this, like I said, for the third time. My name's Dan from Dan Has Fun. We're just going to have a lot of fun, and it's honestly, I think it's hilarious that this has happened twice now. It's just what happens, I guess. Alright, so this is the first mission in the story mode where you are dealing with naval units. This transport copter is in a terrible location like the game's trying to show, but we've just skipped. But we're going to hide it. How are we going to do that? Put it in a cruiser. So cruisers in this game have the ability, a bit like an APC does with infantry, it can absorb copters. Cruisers themselves are really not very good in this game. They're really strong against subs, and they're really strong against air units. But the problem is that every air unit that can attack ground units and naval units are good against cruisers. Because cruisers only have a movement of 6, they have the same movement as a battle copter, but they're limited to the sea, so they're far less maneuverable. And a bomber has a movement of 7, so even if it was on an open ocean, bombers can outmaneuver cruisers, which is terrible. We are going to utilize the fact that the sub is here and cruisers are very, very good against subs. But then next turn we're going to get our transport copter out because we do genuinely want to use it. We have a battleship, which is just a rocket on steroids. Unfortunately, it's also inflated for price too. Don't have to deal with that problem on this map. It's pre-deployed, but they are very, very expensive. They are the most expensive unit in the game, bar none. Even more so than the mystical unit that we might potentially get doing the lab mission. So that's pretty bad. We have a sub which only attacks other naval units. It loses hardcore to cruisers, but beats every other naval unit. Actually, no other naval unit in this game other than subs themselves, and obviously the cruisers I mentioned can even attack subs, especially when they're submerged, because that is their secret ability. And this is going to look pretty weird, but I'm actually going to intentionally submerge right next to this cruiser so it can see me, so it can attack me and I can get CO power. Because the sub in this mission is absolutely useless. And we're just going to keep our cruiser there temporarily. So that's absolutely fine. So in terms of getting our land units, this base will be getting taken by this infantry. It is unavoidable. We're still going to throw our rocket out there just to try and shoot at said unit. And we're going to have one of our mechs go up and have our other mech slowly come over this way so it can get picked up by a transport copter. We're also going to have a tank go over towards the base, and then we're going to put the mech in the APC along with the tank and throw them all into this lander, which is just an APC on the sea, just without the supplying capacity. It can go through shoals, other naval units cannot, so it's another terrain that naval units have issues with. Also, please explain to me how on a shoal tires have a movement of 1. Makes no sense. Like, just none at all. But that is what they're set up for. So, we're just going to move this forwards, wait, and then turn. We're going to talk about Lash, who's our opposing CO, next turn. She's talking about the ambush that I've already mentioned. The rocket will attack landers because, again, a lander is a transport unit, and the AI loves to attack transportation units. It's what it does. It eats them for breakfast. So we knew this was going to hurt, but that's a good thing that it hurt because it's going to power up our CO meter. And we might, if we're lucky, be able to convince the AI to use little power. It's not probable, given we're going to likely... actually, we might be able to. Because this cruiser being here actually will become totally irrelevant as it happens, because we're just going to move our battleship here. Cruiser can't go through the shoal, which means the sub can, with 2 hit points, really do nothing. The cruiser can just take it out if it wants to. It doesn't even need to really do that, honestly. Yeah, we have some options. The only thing that's a little bit unfortunate, and we can actually do it like this, we could then move the cruiser nowhere, let the transport copter out here, and then again the cruiser can't reach it, and it gives us ability for our mech to jump aboard, which is probably what we're going to do. Yeah, I think that's what we will do. Anyway, these anti-air are a little bit annoying. This one can reach any unit I've got, which is, again, a shade unfortunate. We are going to throw our rocket there, and we're just going to keep running forwards with our mech, our artillery, and our tank, just so we can keep this area kind of occupied. Going to then proceed to put, depending how we want to do this, because this anti-air has a movement of 6, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't move onto the forest. So I'm just going to throw the APC down there, get it out of the way, put the tank there. It could still get attacked by the anti-air, don't get me wrong, but it could not. It's not going to be able to one-shot it, so that's fine. And then we're just going to put the copter here. It's a little bit unfortunate because we're still going to have to wait one extra turn because mechs only have a movement of 2. I could totally next turn use Sammy's little power, give her mech a movement of 3, put it in the copter and move the copter over. It's very tempting. It's almost, no, it'll be one of the very few times where you actually see a little power used if we do that. Yeah, we actually got Lash to use her little power, which is great. And we didn't talk about it this turn. We're going to talk about it next turn then, I guess. That's perfectly fine. She's going to do not even 1 hit point with that. She might do 5, maybe 6 with the anti-air, something in that ballpark. Yeah, she did 6. Well, 5 and change, right? So that's absolutely fine. A little unfortunate that we end up in the scenario where the other anti-air's on the headquarters, but what can you do? And then, yeah, that sub's just going to keep picking on that lander, which we don't mind. Like, we're fine with this. We're actually not going to use little power, because otherwise we're just going to be suiciding that mech, which we don't want to have happen. Not yet, anyway. I am going to take the sub shot now, though, while she's used her little power, because while you have used your power, where it's literal superpower, you don't gain stars while that event is happening. And let's talk about Lash now before I forget again. Her shtick is all about terrain stars. So every terrain star her unit has obviously gives her defense like every other CO, but it also gives her attack power. So she does more damage attacking from, say, a city than she does from attacking from a bridge. Her little power reduces her movement cost of all units to 1, so it's 1 movement, 1 tile, assuming it can touch that tile. You're still not going to have, you know, Neo tanks crossing rivers, for example. But any tile that they can move on is a cost of 1 to 1. And her prime tactics, her superpower, is actually very good. It doubles her terrain stars. So if you have a Lash unit on a headquarters, it gets 8 stars instead of 4. So that means 80% more defense, but it also theoretically means 80% more offense, which is terrifying. And it means on high defensive terrain, she's pretty much unmovable. It's actually a very good CO. Other than Sturm himself, who we'll talk about towards the end of the story mode, I would say Lash is probably the best CO to use. Editing Daniel from the future here, I clearly meant within Black Hole COs, not the COs in general. We're going to find a couple more completely broken ones. Anyway, back to the video. I'm not sure if that's particularly controversial or not, but I would say she's the most flexible of them in terms of her CO power being useful, CO power and abilities being useful a lot more often, especially obviously on highly wooded maps or mountainous maps. She's significantly less useful when you're relying on air units and naval units. Not that you really ever rely on the latter very often. But otherwise, she's very, very good. So we're going to move transport copter into place, put the mech in it. We might as well take the sub out at this point, just to say that we did it. The lander's still going to get shot on by the 1 hit point rocket, so that'll give us a little bit of CO power star gauge. We need 3 more stars. We might get that in time. It'll be kind of touch and go. You'll see here, by the way, 29% damage for me to do that, and that's just horrendous. So we're not going to be doing that. What we are going to be doing is potentially just sitting here with the tank, because that will keep the APC safe. For now, though, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to put this mech here just to make sure it's safe, because if they attack my mech in the forest, they will not kill it. And then what I'm going to do is... See, there's 2 ports of call. You can either sit here and block, or you can go on the forest and do some damage. I'm actually just going to do a little bit of damage, because that will incentivize her moving off her headquarters with the other anti-air, which I think is of more benefit, I would say. And then we're just going to move this and get it out of the way. And move this here. And then those naval units, other than the battle ship, I doubt I'm going to even bother moving the naval units again. Yep, she's going to keep plugging away 1 hit point at a time on that lander, because again, the AI just hates transportation. Oh wow, she moved her 5 hit points first. Yeah, she didn't even take out the APC, which is just the best. We do hope her other anti-air moves, and it did, and that is exactly what we wanted to see. So we do have to take out this infantry because we need to clear up this blockage. I'm sure there's a way more efficient way of doing this mission than this, but this is just one way that I know it will work, so that's why we're doing it this way. I'm actually okay with them capturing that city, potentially. I'm just going to attack the other one. It's not like the income's going to do her any good, right? It's a pre-deployed map. There's only 1 base, and she's not going to have access to it. So we are just going to use that mech, because I can reach. Like that. There we go. This APC just needs to get out of the way, really. But mildly amusingly, this mech's going to take out this anti-air, really the unit designed to take it out. So you always like when that happens, and then we're going to shield that mech by throwing the tank in front of it. And the other tank that I've got on the main headquarters island will probably be strong enough to take out Lash's anti-air. And then at this point, her headquarters is completely exposed. We're going to fly in with the transport copter, and it should be GG. Yeah, what I was trying to do originally is try and grind stars by letting, you know, effectively the rocket and the cruiser really just attack everything it could, just to try and force the superpower to happen. But it's really touch and go on this map if you actually get enough stars, enough, you know, just to make it happen. Because Sammy's superpower is rather expensive compared to the average CO, for good reason. It's completely wild. You need 8 stars. It's not the most expensive superpower in the game. There's a couple, 3 actually, I think, in this game that are more expensive than that. But it is very, very good. And I don't think you quite have enough income on this map to make it happen, which is funny, but it just meant it was 20 minutes of my life that didn't come towards being a published online video. I'll probably leave the outtake at the end of the video for it, because I thought it was funny. But yeah, that's really all there is to that anyway. And just in case it'll help the power ranking, I'm just going to take that. I'm pretty sure we're going to get 100 on the power ranking. I actually don't remember if we lost a unit. I don't even think we did. So I think, guys, we're going to be absolutely fine. We're just going to end turn, not even bother. Yeah, we've let that rocket take so many pot shots at us, it was starting to run out of ammo. But yep, there is the mission. So we were able to do it this time around because I wasn't trying to cheese the game to show superpower. Alas. Yes. So again, she's going to try and entice this CO over. And, oh, Lash isn't talking. This is pretty much the only time you're going to see she's not talking. Oh, it's because she's not there. Because what a surprise, an Advance Wars CO escapes. I will probably say that many, many times during this playthrough. It's just, it makes no sense. And we did have a perfect 300 score, which is awesome. Sammy alluded to the fact that Lash is going to be a handful. She will be more of a handful with a different nation, which we will get to. But yeah, finally sorted with that mission. We are going to save. Now, we have one more flag before the final mission of this land. It is the lab mission. We're going to do that next time. Appreciate you spending the time watching the video. If you do want to throw a like or subscribe out there, be greatly appreciated. And hopefully I'll see you next time around. Take care. But yeah, there we go. That will do, that 4,500 gold's worth of damage to us will hopefully get us there. Oh, it's so close. It is so close. I hope we can do this. Otherwise, we might be redoing this mission, which would be hilarious. And then we might be merging two clips together. We're actually running out of fuel as well, which is amusing. So, can we do enough gold damage to actually get our superpower off? Because I really tried to do it like this on purpose so you can see the superpower and how effective it is. And if I did that and then ended up losing the mission because I was trying to show how it works, I'll be a little disappointed. But we will see. Yeah, we are half of a star away. How disappointing is that? And as a result, we can't do this. Okay, well, what we're going to do then is try this again, and I will be right back. Thank you for watching the video.